Welcome back, friendly neighbors and Spidey fanatics. Today we're talking about a Spider-Man villain who's a little underrated, but who we may yet be seeing in the movies before we know it. And with that said, let's get into 10 facts about the Hobgoblin. Roderick Kingsley, aka the Hobgoblin, was a bit of a mad genius. When he stole the Green Goblin formula from Norman Osborn, he was well aware of the pros and cons. So he modified and improved the formula. Originally, when Norman took the formula, he was granted many powers, but it drove him insane. Kingsley improved it to the point where he took the formula and was sharper than ever. Although Roderick Kingsley was the original Hobgoblin, there have been many others who took on the identity as well. Some of these were lackeys of Kingsley, while others were hoping to replace him. Among these many other Hobgoblins, we find Ned Leeds, Arnold Donovan, Jason Macendale, Daniel Kingsley, Phil Urich, and even Deadpool. But we'll get to that later. Needless to say, there's all kinds of Hobgoblins from all kinds of different backgrounds. These men all had one thing in common. They were all terrifying villains. Roderick Kingsley's version of the Hobgoblin had many abilities in addition to the ones that he stole from Norman Osborn. One of these was his ability to hypnotize others. Hobgoblin has used this power to manipulate good people to help him in his villainous schemes. A former employee of Norman Osborn named Gerard Winkler was the creator of brainwashing technology. Kingsley stole the tech from him. He also stole tech from a minor supervillain named the Brainwasher and combined the two technologies into his own weapon. Ned Leeds was a friend of Peter Parker's and a boyfriend of Betty Brant. It was an absolute shock when Ned Leeds was revealed to be masquerading as the Hobgoblin. Leeds had always been a great guy, and something about this reveal didn't exactly feel right. It turned out that Kingsley had actually used his hypnotizing weapon to brainwash Ned into becoming another Hobgoblin. Kingsley did this in order to frame Ned Leeds and throw off the authorities and Spider-Man and keep suspicion away from himself. This tactic proved very successful for a time. Okay, now it's time to talk about the Merc with the Mouth. One of his not so great missions. Most comic book fans might be surprised to learn that Wade Wilson himself, Deadpool, has also taken on the mantle of Hobgoblin. A mercenary for hire, Deadpool was eager to seek out some good work after escaping a hospice. He then took a job from the Wizard, who contracted Deadpool to bomb a hangar dressed as Hobgoblin. In typical Deadpool fashion, he bombed the wrong hangar. Since that completed mission, he never took up the Hobgoblin mantle again. In the 1980s, the Spider-Man character was at a bit of a crossroads. His introduction in the 60s was followed by the introductions of many incredible villains. Once the 80s rolled around, the editors at Marvel wanted a new crop of villains to be introduced in order to freshen things up. The Hobgoblin was a fresh take on a villain concept that could be used as an underground crime boss. Furthermore, it was a nice switch up to use him instead of Green Goblin, Doc Ock, or one of the other staple Spider-Man villains as the main baddie. In the 90s Spider-Man animated show, Mark Hamill took the role as the second most recurring Goblin villain in the show, Hobgoblin. Mark Hamill, as you know, was the actor who portrayed Luke Skywalker in Star Wars, as well as an accomplished voice actor performing the Joker, surprise! Fire Lord Ozai from Avatar, and many more. Hamill took inspiration from his Joker voice and toyed with it so that it had a distinct differentiation from the Clown Prince of Crime. In the Ultimate Marvel Universe, the story of Hobgoblin went quite a bit differently. In this universe, Green Goblin isn't simply Norman wearing a silly costume. Norman is actually transformed into a giant Hulk-like beast that can generate fireballs. He grows over 8 feet tall and actually succeeds in killing Spider-Man. Green Goblin has many derivatives, the most famous of which is the Hobgoblin. Hobgoblin has a few notable derivatives as well, the strangest of which is Demogoblin. After Roderick Kingsley, the most notable Hobgoblin is without a doubt Jason Macendale. After Jason asks the demonic Nastir for more power, he is bonded with a demon from Limbo. Together they formed Demogoblin, a terrifying, supernatural version of the Hobgoblin. Together they formed Demogoblin, a terrifying, supernatural version of the Hobgoblin. Roderick Kingsley's brother Daniel Kingsley also took up the mantle of the Hobgoblin. Hoping to piggyback off of his brother's criminal success, Daniel found and took up his brother's old gear. During an investigation into one of Roderick's old hideouts, Daniel discovers that Daily Bugle employee Phil Urich is also present with the very same intention. Phil Urich is able to gain the upper hand on Daniel, decapitating him with the Hobgoblin Energy Sword. So those are 10 facts about the Hobgoblin. Can't wait to see if he makes it into live action at some point in the near future. But what do you think? Was there any great facts about the Hobgoblin that we missed? Or what villains do you want to see us cover? Be sure to leave a comment and let us know about that. Also, hit the like, share this video, and make sure you're subscribed to the Spider-Man fan channel for the best videos for Spider-Man every week. Special shout out to Comic Storian, who pronounces it Hobgoblin.